Hey guys, this is Mico.
And this is Arlene. And today we're going to be solving a systems of linear equation by the elimination method.
So our first example is x plus y equals 1 and x minus y equals 3. Due to the positive y and the negative y, that can cancel out, and we are left with 2 x's and 1 plus 3 equals 4. So we are left with 2x equals 4. And then you divide both sides by 2, and you're left with x equals 4 divided by 2. Obviously, that is x equals 2. And then to check your work, you're going to plug in the 2 into the first equation, which is x plus y equals 1, so it will end up being 2 plus y equals 1. Then you are going to subtract 2 from both sides, and you end up with y equals negative 1. And then you're going to plug both numbers into the second equation, which is x minus y, so you end up with 2 minus negative 1 equals 3. But due to the double negative, it will end up being positive, which ends up with 2 plus 1 equals 3. With the end result being x equals 2 and y equals negative 1.
Another example is 2x plus 2y equals 4 and x minus y equals 8. In order to continue solving this equation, you're going to have to distribute to the bottom equation. We're trying to find a number that will cancel out either the 2x or the 2y. So for the bottom equation, you're gonna distribute 2 into the x minus y equals 8. And you're gonna be left with 2x plus 2y equals 4 with 2x minus 2y equals 16. Since 2y is positive, and then you're gonna be left with the negative 2y, they're both going to cancel out, and you're going to be left with 4x equals 20. You're going to divide the 4 by 4, and you're going to be left with x equals 20 over 4, which can be reduced to x equals 5. In order to check your work, you're going to plug in the 5 into the x. So with your first equation, it's going to be 2 multiplied by 5 plus 2y equals 4. And you're going to get 10 plus 2y equals 4. After that, you're going to subtract the 10 to both sides, and you'll be able to cross out the 10 and the negative 10 on your left side, and you'll be left with 2y equals negative 6. But then again, you can divide by 2 on both sides, and you'll be left with y equals negative 6 over 2, which can be reduced to negative 3. And for this example, your x is going to be 5 and your y is going to be negative 3.
For the last example, we have 4x plus 5y equals negative 5 and 3x plus 2y equals 5. So then we distribute 2 and negative 5 since 5y and 2y have a common multiple of 10. And then we distribute the 2 to the top and the negative 5 to the bottom. We end up with 8x plus 10y equals negative 10 and negative 15x minus 10y equals negative 25. Since 10y is both positive and negative, we can cross that out, and we end up with negative 7x equals negative 35. Then we divide both by negative 7, and we end up with x equals 5.
And to check your work, you'll be substituting the 5 for the x for the first equation, so you'll get 4 times 5 plus 5y equals negative 5. And then 4 times 5 is 20, so you'll have 20 plus 5y equals negative 5, and you're going to subtract 20 from both sides, which you're able to cancel out on the left side, and you'll be left with 5y equals negative 25. After that, you're able to divide by 5, and you're left with y equals negative 25 over 5, and your y equals negative 5. For the second equation, you'll be able to plug in both numbers since you already have the x and the y. So it'll be 3 times 5 plus 2 times negative 5 equals 5. You're left with 15 minus 10 equals 5. So 5 equals 5, that's correct. So your x is 5 and your y is negative 5. Alright guys, this concludes the video, and
Thank you for watching.